Badlands of North Dakota.
Well, there's a spirituality out here that's unmeetable anywhere, and I've traveled the world. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling in the Badlands.
It's very different out here.
One of the most beautiful places in the nation, and certainly the most beautiful place in North Dakota.
Louis L'Amour, the famous Western novelist, who of course was from North Dakota, one of his books was criticized for having improbable characters. And I love his response. He addressed that criticism by mentioning Medora specifically, the Marquis and Medora and Roosevelt. And L'Amour's point was the West had no improbable characters. You can find all these characters in our history.
The stunning terrain of Dakota Territory has drawn all manner of people to this land for generations. But to tame it, to make a living in the West, takes grit, determination, courage, and character.
You know, there isn't anybody that works harder than a rancher 365 days a year because they are responsible for the livelihood of those cattle or those livestock that are out there. That work is hard, and it's long, and it's every day.
We call it Western heritage.
Western heritage to me is just the freedom of the outdoors. It's hard not to feel that when you're in the Badlands, that Western heritage.
You know, it's a big deal to anybody that puts on a cowboy hat. You know, you don't wear a cowboy hat. A cowboy hat has a special meaning to anybody that grew up in the West, if you will.
I like wild things, and this is a wild country out here.
For some, it's a brand new experience. Cat Black sees it every summer at our Medora riding stables.
There's a lot of little kids that come up here and they ride for the first time, and they get back. Well, they start out most of the time and they're holding onto the horn and they're shaking, scared, screaming. And by the time they get back, they're like, "Mom, Dad, we need a horse."
For others, it's a way of life. Like for these 6 girls, all under age 11, all siblings or cousins, and all with a shared love of rodeo.
I want to make it to the circuit finals someday. I hope to go to the NFR someday.
I want to make it to the NFR someday.
And their parents, sisters-in-law Jessica Weldon and Leanne Bilodeau.
Some families are hockey families or basketball families or softball families, and we're a rodeo family. That's what we do.
You have to trust your horse, because if you don't trust your horse, then your horse is not going to trust you, and then it's not going to end up good. It takes a lot of responsibility.
The perseverance. You know, I think that's a big thing with rodeo and riding horse, because let me tell you, things don't always go quite right, and they have to, myself, my kids, keep going, keep trying, and, trust the process.
Such lessons are universal and critical, and they're at the heart of the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation's newest initiative, Western Heritage. A comprehensive plan to energize the Western experience in Medora, utilizing land ripe with potential just west of the Little Missouri River. At the center, a state-of-the-art competition arena, making Medora a can't-miss destination for rodeo stars of the future and of today.
You know, if you talk to any rodeo cowboy that travels, 365 days a year, they've been to them all, but it's the surroundings, the people, and that one of the things that we have in North Dakota are the great people. I think Medora is a perfect place for a rodeo arena to become a legendary place to come visit.
A learning center to immerse the traveling public in what Western heritage really means.
There's a lot of people that come up and they don't really know anything about it, and their first inclination is to think that, poor horses, the poor cattle, the poor this. Well, the reason why we, brand cattle and give shots and rope things is all because we're trying to take care of the animals. If you talk to any rancher or anyone that's involved with horses or cattle or anything, they do really love their animals.
And a space that we call Ranching 101. To give children an up-close experience of the West.
I think when people come out here, we need to have them make that connection to the land and to the animals, to the horses, to the cattle. I think we need that connection. We know what it does for ranch kids. It can do the same for a city kid.
Our vision remains the same, to connect people to historic Medora for positive, life-changing experiences. And we believe, with your support of Western heritage, we'll change more lives than ever before and make Medora the premier destination to be immersed in the Western way of life.